Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us. We're glad that you're here. I'm Steve,
And I'm Scott.
and together we're Backyard Musings, the science and technology channel.
Yeah, we are talking about a really interesting topic today regarding ravens, the beloved black large bird, and wolves,
Yeah.
and how they kind of go together. So let's just talk about it, and we'll let you make the comments.
When wolves bring down prey in Yellowstone National Park, ravens often appear almost immediately. Long before the predators finish feeding, the birds gather nearby to grab scraps of meat. Their ability to locate fresh kills so quickly has puzzled observers for years, leading many people to assume that ravens simply follow wolves across the landscape. A new study suggests the real explanation is far more impressive. After tracking ravens and wolves in Yellowstone for more than 2 years, researchers discovered that ravens rely heavily on memory.
Hmm.
Instead of shadowing wolf packs over long distances, the birds remember places where wolves frequently make kills and return to those areas later. Would you like to know more?
So just in that first segment, I had no idea that wolves killed things in the same areas, like going to a restaurant, right? Where do you go?
Well,
Oh, I go to
within a
McDonald's.
radius, within a
Yeah,
radius,
yeah, I get that, but still, it's interesting. I didn't realize that. I thought they were very, you know, migratory
they
animal. They
go
just
where the food is.
went
That's what I
all over.
thought.
Yeah. The findings published in Science on March 12th of this year indicate that ravens use spatial memory and navigation skills to search for food spread across large areas. According to Loretto, who I guess is Matthias Loretto, Dr. Matthias Loretto, ravens do not need to stay close to wolves all the time because they can recall where food is most likely to appear. Quote, ravens can cover large distances by flying, and they seem to have good memory. So they don't need to consistently uh, or constantly follow wolves in order to profit from the predators. And again, that's according to Dr. Matthias Loretto, the study's head author. So,
All right, so check this out. So you're a hunter and you're listening to this story that the wolves are ambushing the animals pretty much in the same areas, right? So that means the animals are coming in the same areas, back and forth, tracking back and forth, right?
well,
So,
well, that's pretty normal, right? I mean, you're a hunter as well, right? So,
well, I mean, it's counterintuitive because if you're an animal and you see a stack of bones from a kill 2 years ago, why would you go past it again? Or you see a fresh kill months old, why would you go past that again? Even close, you'd be able to smell it. So apparently they do. So this is a cue to hunters that if you're out hunting, walking around, and you see a pile of bones, chances are a deer or an elk is going to come by there later on. So that
yes,
might be a good place to set up. We can learn from the ravens.
right. And I mean, I don't want to give credit to a bird that I despise, but they all serve their purpose, right? So they're
Well,
kind of
they
the
said
cleanup guy.
Elijah when during the famine.
Yeah. And then, but when you're hunting, and I'm not a big game hunter, but I know guys that do, and I think I know you do. There's a regularity to there, Mike. They have game trails that you go and set up your little spy cameras on and stuff, so you can watch the movement and the times of
Big
the
time game
day.
trails.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think you're giving too much credit to the mind of an elk or a deer or a moose or whatever. Of course, moose are different, right? They don't herd, so they stay separate usually, one or two, right? They don't. I don't
Mhm.
think they herd together. There's no herds of
Well,
moose.
during the running season, the one bull will have a harem.
A moose harem,
A
really?
bull moose will have a cow harem.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
more than one lady moose then.
yeah, like 5, 6, 10. Right, he'll
Gotcha.
be fighting the other males to keep them.
And did they call those cows like
Cow.
they
Yep.
do elk?
Oh, yeah, cow moose,
Okay.
cow elk. Yeah.
So okay, but again, they're smart to the wherewithal or the whereabouts of like a human or
Yeah, but
maybe
moose
predators.
don't care. Now, the elk, they'll get skittish and they'll run when they smell you or see you, but moose, they don't care.
They don't.
You can fire 8 times at them and they won't flinch. And then your eighth bullet hits them.
So kind of like
My nephew did that.
Bullwinkle, not too smart.
Hey, watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go. But the Ravens, obviously, they have the height advantage, so that's a big
Yeah,
deal.
they're up high.
So,
Yeah, they can see far. Yeah.
yeah. So, okay. I think
Is
it's
it my
you.
turn? It's
I
my
think
turn.
it's you, right?
The project was led by the Research Institute of Wildlife Ecology at the University of Veterinary Medicine, Vienna, and the Max Planck Institute of Animal Behavior in Germany, along with several international partners, including the Seckenberg Biodiversity and Climate Research Center of Germany, School of Environmental and Forest Sciences at the University of Washington, and Yellowstone National Park.
Researchers carried out the study in Yellowstone National Park, where wolves were reintroduced in the mid-1990s after being absent for 70 years. About 1/4 of the park's wolves wear tracking collars each year, allowing scientists to monitor their movements. I know there's a lot of people that weren't real happy about that.
Yeah, too bad. I mean,
Yeah, but
it's a collar. Come on.
no, I'm talking about reintroducing the
Oh,
wolves.
reintroducing. Yeah, because they
Yeah,
spread out pretty fast.
well, and
They breed.
they destroy a lot of the
Rancher.
nature, the
Yeah.
animals and whatever. But that's what they do. So.
Dr. Dan Staler, a Yellowstone biologist who has studied the wolves since their return, says ravens often seem closely connected to the predators. Quote, you see them flying directly above traveling packs or hopping close behind wolves as they take down prey. Because wolves regularly leave behind edible remains, scientists long believe ravens found a simple strategy: stay near wolves to find food. We all assume that the birds had a very simple rule: just stick close to the wolves, says Staler.
Again, pretty smart, I guess, right?
Yeah.
However, nobody had thoroughly tested the idea before. Quote, we didn't know what ravens were capable of because nobody had ever put them in the center. Nobody had taken the scavenger's point of view. To better understand raven behavior, the team fitted 69 ravens with tiny GPS tracking devices. Interesting. Loretto describes that number as unusually high for this type of research. Capturing the birds was difficult because ravens are highly observant and cautious around unfamiliar objects.
Yeah. Researchers carefully disguised traps to blend into the environment. Near campsites, they even use trash and fast food as camouflage and bait. Otherwise, quote, the ravens would suspect that something was off and wouldn't come near it, Loretto explains.
The scientists also analyzed movement data from 20 colored wolves. During winter, when ravens most often interact with wolves, GPS locations were recorded every 30 minutes for ravens and every hour for wolves. Researchers also tracked the locations and timing of wolf skills involving prey such as elk, bison, and deer. Oh, I forgot about the bison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Over 2.5 years of monitoring, scientists found only one clear case in which a raven followed a wolf for more than 1 kilometer or longer than 1 hour. Quote, at first we were puzzled, says Loretto. Once we realized that ravens are not following wolves over long distances, we couldn't explain why the birds still arrive so quickly at wolf kills.
Well, again, like I was telling you before we came on, or maybe I was telling while we were on, we have a lady down our street from us that feeds these birds, and they just swarm at her house, and they're there all the time, obviously because they're getting free food. And then on trash day, they're everywhere as well.
They know trash day and they know where. Yeah.
Yeah, and I would be willing to bet that these birds probably stay in this area or they migrate with the trash day. Every day somebody's getting their trash picked up and they move around.
They know the areas. Yeah.
Yeah, very close. So a deeper analysis eventually revealed the answer. Ravens repeatedly travel back to areas where wolf kills commonly occurred rather than directly trailing predators. Some birds flew as far as 155 kilometers, wow, in a single day. That's a long flight. Often along remarkably direct routes toward places where carcasses were likely to appear, even though the exact timing of a kill could not be predicted.
Researchers found that wolf kills often clustered in certain parts of the landscape, especially flat valley bottoms where wolves hunt more successfully. Ravens visited these areas much more often than places where kills rarely happen. This suggests the birds learn and remember long-term feeding patterns across the environment.
Quote, we already knew that ravens can remember stable food sources like landfills. That's another thing we don't have very far from here.
Yeah.
And what surprised us is that they also seem to learn in which states or areas wolf kills are more common. A single kill is unpredictable, but over time, some parts of the landscape are more productive than others. And ravens appear to use that pattern to their advantage, like this lady down the street that feeds the birds.
I think hunters can use that advantage too when they see kill sites. Like my brothers in Colorado, there's a place called Rudeye. It's up 10,000 feet, but the valley is called the Rudeye Valley. And there have been so many kills there. They brought so many tons of elk out of there. It's crazy. The elk just keep coming to that area.
That's what they do.
It's really hard to get to.
But that's what they do, right?
Yeah, you got to pack that meat out. It's pretty difficult. One hind quarter could be 100 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot. And I mean, no vehicles, can't get vehicles in there. You got to walk.
No, Colorado won't let you. They'll cut it off at a certain point, and then you might be tracking 3 miles back to get to the Rudeye. So up and down.
You got to drag it out then.
Yeah, you got to track it. You quarter it, and then each of you take turns. You carry a front, and I'll carry a rear, and then we'll switch it up after 15 minutes.
So what do you do after? Not to make this a hunting show, but somebody gets a kill, that game over, right? If you got to haul it out.
Well, yeah, it'll take. I mean, you got to butcher it, so on the spot you got to quarter it, so that'll take a little bit of time. My brother does it really fast. My older brother, and then you just got to start packing it out and back and forth to your truck. Hind quarter or loins. Take the loins first because you don't want a bear to get the loins, and then probably the hind quarters next to that has the most meat, and then the front and the neck later.
And you said bear, right? The bear.
Yeah, bear. Yeah,
and the ravens.
And the ravens. Yeah. So. It could take, depending on where you are, it could take 9 hours to get that elk out of there.
Wow. That's a lot.
But like I was saying in Alaska, I've told you before that when my nephew killed that moose, it was right off the road. It was like, I'm going to say, it was a little side road that went off up to a little hill, knoll that you could overlook. So it's probably 300 meters, a football field from the road. And you could just take the side-by-side down there, and then we packed it on the side-by-side, and we're out in 2 hours. Most of the time was carving it up.
Yeah.
Not packing it out. It's pretty cool. All right, the researchers believe ravens may still follow wolves over short distances in some situations. Nearby cues, including wolf behavior or howling, can help birds locate kills once they're already in the area. To find wolf kills locally, ravens likely use short-range cues like monitoring wolf behavior or listening to wolf howling, says Loretto.
Still, the broader pattern points strongly towards memory-based navigation. Ravens appear to decide where to search using knowledge gained from previous experiences, sometimes traveling across tens or even hundreds of kilometers. Wow. Okay. Pretty dedicated.
Yeah. Well, they want the food. Senior author Professor John M. Marsluff of the University of Washington says the findings reveal remarkable flexibility in raven behavior. Quote, what our study clearly shows is that ravens are flexible in where they decide to feed. They don't stay tied to a particular wolf pack. With their sharp senses and memory of past feeding locations, they can choose among many foraging opportunities far and wide. This changes how we think about how scavengers find food and suggests we may have underestimated some species for a long time. Fascinating story. Fascinating.
Yeah, no idea. So now when I throw a rock or shoot my BB gun at the ravens on my roof, I'll wonder how far those ravens have traveled.
Well, if
No.
they're domesticated, probably not far. I mean, if
Probably
they're in the city, probably not far.
Yeah, they're probably neighborhood birds.
Yeah.
So one fun fact about that though, ravens mate for life.
Oh,
I didn't know that, but I learned that a couple years ago. I think I learned
like
that from one of
penguins.
my grandkids. So,
Oh.
but anyway, don't like them.
All right, folks. Thanks for joining us. Sorry this went long. It did kind of go long, but it's interesting for hunter segments.
Yeah, absolutely. Take care, everyone. We'll see you this afternoon.
All right.